Good morning everyone, how's it going? So I'm up early, it is just gone 7 and I'm heading into the shop early. It's the 1st of September and that means it is window change time. Super exciting because recently I've been uninspired with my shop windows. They haven't been particularly, I just haven't known what to do with them. So I've got a clear plan today. So I'm going in to put that into action. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be autumnal. It's going to be very hygge. And yeah, I thought I'd just take you along with me to show how I go about planning and making my small business shop windows here in Taunton. So we'll just get to work, we'll get the shutters up, and then I'll fill you in a little bit more on the process. So over the past couple of years of owning my little eco shop, I've developed a relatively straightforward, not quite so quick, but easy way of doing really effective, beautiful windows that people love. And it's just a case that over the past couple of months, for the end of the summer season, I just haven't maybe felt as inspired or had a direction to take the window. So the product placement looks a little bit weak, and yeah, it is what it is. But my method involves Canva, a printer, and some chunky Posca pens. And I'll take you along for the ride today. But first of all, we need to be out with the old so that we can be in with the new. Actually, I just want to take a moment to point out these beautiful stones that my wife painted for me for the spring-summer window. Yeah, just pebble painting. But yeah, we've got ladybugs, we've got absolutely gorgeous little flowers, lavenders. So it just shows that things don't have to be expensive or new to be effective. You can do it on the cheap, you can do it with creativity and with love, and it creates a beautiful effect. I'll hopefully have a photo of the full spring window because they were glorious, and then it kind of just went away from me in the summer, unfortunately, but we're back for the autumn. But yeah, simple, effective, often the best with windows. So there we have it, a big beautiful blank canvas ready for autumn to go on. Windows are clear. I leave the writing at the end up just because that's just general shop rather than theme. We've got the window ledge clear, we've got a big space to work in. So next thing to do is I will need to print out a couple of final bits, and I'll show you what happens with the initial stage of doing a window with my method. So Canva is such a useful tool for me, from social media posts to windows, and I print out basically a stencil of what I need. And what's really handy, so you're saving ink, is once you've sort of typed or created what you want, you can go into the effects and just create an outline, and then just sort of drop it down to the size that you need, change the colour so it's suitable, and then you can go back and you should be able to make the writing hollow, which, there we go. So then that saves you a bit of ink and makes it even easier for the next step. So I've just got to print out these last little bits, the slogans. I always like to generally have a slogan in my window. It just adds something for people to read and engage with maybe and think about as they're passing by. So anyway, I'll get this printed off and then we'll go on to the next stage. So we're all prepped and ready to go. I've got all of my stencils printed out, got my trusty blue tack. And what I do first is I lay it out, any wording on the inside so that I can get it centered and all of that good stuff. And then I will stick it onto the outside of the window, which you'll see, and mirror it so that it's readable from passers-by on the outside. And then we'll get to work on the inside, which is the fun part. It's the time-consuming part, but it's when it all comes together. So we'll get cracking with this season's slogan. And so there we go, that is basically the secret to good-looking, hand-drawn, creative windows that I use. So stenciling, basically. So the next part that I'm going to do is fill in all of the gaps. And if you know me, you know two things. I love stripes and repeating patterns. So this time around, it's repeating patterns. So I printed out loads of little acorns. We've got pine cones, and we've got a few different sort of shapes and sizes of leaves as well. So now I'm going to go around the outside and I'm going to lay these out all across the window and get it looking pleasing, basically, for the want of the better word. There's no science to it, it's just creating a bit of balance and just spreading it all around. This takes a little bit of time, but generally I work one leaf at a time and one style at a time, and lay it out and then just sort of adjust and move it around. Do the big bits first, fill in the gaps with the little acorns is generally what I find best, and hopefully we don't run out of blue tack. So that's what it looks like from the outside, really, really interesting. And as you're doing it, you'll get comments and looks from passers-by, but just carry on regardless. So it looks a lot more intense than it is. Each of those is just going to be an outline, it's not going to be blocked in like that. So you'll still have like clear visibility through into the shop, which is great. But that's basically it. I'm very lucky I've got security measures. This big thing here is a giant roller shutter. Normally what I would do is I would roll that down so that I could work in private, because I'm going to be up against the window looking out. So yeah, normally I just put the tunes on and work with the shutter down and then roll it up, pull all of that off for the grand reveal. It's nearly opening time actually. I've taken my time with it this morning getting it all ready. So I'm going to leave the shutter up and see how I get on with doing it that way. So before we get to actual drawing, I just wanted to touch on what I actually use, and I use Posca branded marker pens, and I go for the PC7M option, which is a really fat bullet tip rather than a chisel tip or anything too thin, because usually I am doing outlines for my windows and I want to make a big impact, so I don't want to be going over it with a thin line sort of multiple times. And chisel tips, I don't know, I just don't get on with them. So bullet tips, and I know that there are cheaper pens out there to use, other brands, but I just find Posca, the pigmentation's really good. It hasn't let me down so far, and they actually go a really long way and last. These have lasted me since last year, doing window changes and all kinds of other business. If I remember, I'll pop the sort of the model number, as it were, in the description down below. But for the meantime, we've got all of this to go, and I've got 45 minutes till the shop technically needs to open, so we'll better get cracking. You know what, I just realised that my Tumblr is autumnal, so I follow a small business YouTuber, Coco Natasha, and last year she made this absolutely lovely autumn leaves and caffeine please, like pumpkin spice tumbler. I don't drink caffeine, but yeah, it's good for water, stay hydrated. Well, there we go. It is 10 o'clock. The time has just flown by like that the past 3-ish hours. But we're done. All of the Posca penning is over. Pro tip, don't wear your favourite white t-shirt when messing around with paint pens, because you will end up a cropper. So now I've got to open up. The shop's still a mess, but that's okay. We can deal with that for the time being. The exciting part now though is peeling off all of the stencils to reveal what's left behind, all of the leaves and the writing, and just see if it all just looks beautiful. There's a few drips and bits and pieces that we'll need to tidy up shortly, but that's okay, that happens with these kinds of pens. But yeah, I don't know how the reveal will look to you guys on film, but obviously I'll show you from the outside as well. And then we've got a bit of shop decor to do as well, which is really exciting. that's the finished look, and as you can see, it's already quite effective from across the street. I absolutely love it. It's, yeah, this kind of colour scheme and vibes is exactly what I want. And you can see it looks quite sparse now with all of the white off, so it's, yeah, you just got to trust the process. And then this window looks, yeah, fabulous. And I've kind of gone along the top because there's more window inside than there is on the outside, if that makes sense. So yeah, absolutely chuffed to bits with that. So now these squares all along here, you can see the faded product and the sort of uninspired look of it. This is what I'm going to work on next, and if we come inside, I'll show you what I'm going to be using. So my lovely friend Jo works around the corner in Oxfam, and she's kindly donated a load of really old sort of autumnal coloured books and things, and I did take a trip to Hobbycraft, as you can see, and then this is the kind of vibe that I'm going for. I've been on Pinterest, as you can clearly see, and we're going to create a bit of excitement and a bit of hygge around the shop. We're going to do the Centre Island summer holiday essentials. I need to pack away all of the summery bits and maybe have a change around. But yeah, that kind of display is going to go into the window with a few products on it, and that's going to be really exciting and should liven it up and create some interest for passers-by to come and investigate the shop. So that's what I'm going to do next with all of my lovely pumpkins and mushrooms and so on. And these will just be reused every single year. Probably not the best materials, except maybe the wicker and stuff, but it is what it is. They're going to be reused over and over for shop displays for years to come.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I feel so invigorated from coming in and cracking on with that this morning. Like, it's just made the world of difference. I feel, not so much, I didn't feel ashamed of it. I just felt like I was letting myself down with the previous window display. So to have it looking like that with so much interest and excitement, it's just, yeah, really exciting. I haven't quite finished this bit, but it's starting to come together, but I need more. I need another trip to Hobbycraft and to start filling in some of the gaps, I reckon. So, but that will come together, and I can slowly work on that through the week as and when I get inspiration and new ideas for what to do with it. Might make some little paper leaves, possibly to hang from the ceiling. That's another idea, so maybe stay tuned for that in a future vlog. I've got a really busy week ahead of me now. It is the shop's 4th birthday on Saturday, so I've got to prep for that. I need to make a poster, do a press release. Got a reporter from the local paper coming in tomorrow to do a little interview, which is really exciting. So I'm really glad that the shop is going to be looking so fresh and new, ready for that. So when people are coming past that maybe haven't been in for a little while, they'll see something new and be able to get excited with me about that. So we'll leave it there for the day, and I will just crack on with the rest of my work. All sorts going on now. The life of a shopkeeper, there's no respite at all. And hopefully you're enjoying being along for the ride. More vlogs to come on various subjects, but hopefully you've enjoyed taking a look behind the scenes as to what goes on and is involved with window change of this sort. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. Smash the like button, comment, subscribe, all of that usual YouTube stuff. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you very soon on the next one. Cheers, everyone.